All right, we have another beautiful day in November. It's probably 65, 70 out here, which again doesn't usually happen here in New York. I'm gonna go ahead and try to use Marie's metal detector again and see if we can't find some more big, large targets. I'm gonna go back where I pulled those two hinges out yesterday because I feel like outhouses hold lots of secrets, and I feel like it's a good location to have been an outhouse possibly. There's an old stone wall over there across the stream. That is the property boundary, and it still is today for this property. And you can see right about where the stone wall ends is supposed to be the corner of the property line according to the old 1700s deeds. And they always talk about a red oak marking the corner of the property line, which makes it really hard. But this time of year, the red oaks are the last ones to drop their leaves. If you see up in the foliage there, you've got the red oak leaves that have not dropped yet. So we were down there earlier this summer. There is a red oak stump right about in that area where you see the wall ends, and there is obviously some more modern oaks. We don't expect that the oak that was there in 1750 whatever, it was still there, but looks like its children are. That does kind of match up with exact angles and stuff of Richard Gardiner's original property. So we think that's probably an English-built wall. Although we do know the Dutch were here in the general vicinity, we do think that's probably an English-built wall. This being his probable house, it's funny that he didn't put it directly on his land. The New Jersey proprietors usually had them like estimate distances by acreage, trying to get down to like 50-acre chunks. So he wouldn't have had any neighbors, obviously. They would have just carved out their most choice pieces. So I think Richard fudged it a little bit. I think he put his house overlooking the stream with the clear road down to the stream, across it, and over to his farm property. But it doesn't look like he put his house on the farm property. It seems like he eked out every bit of square acreage he could have out of the deal he was getting from the Jersey proprietors. And since nobody was here anyway, why not put his house on the higher ground away from floodwaters and stuff? So we've got the foundation site right here, and right over where you see the metal detector's head is about where we found the two big hinges. So I'm going to check around there just to see if there's anything else in that vicinity. I'm getting a hit just off to the left, so we're going to dig that one first. I feel like I've been digging around these rocks forever. Still haven't reached my target. It's been quite a while, but did find about, I just cleaned this off with my finger, that's why it looks so shiny. Maybe 6 inches down. A beautiful little chip of chert flint. Clearly chipped off. You see how sharp that edge is. Clearly hand chipped off. So we do get some Native American chips out here every once in a while, mixed in with the dirt, which makes sense. This is a French and Indian war fort. The Native Americans would have, of course, lived here first. There's even a landmark on Richard Gardiner's property, which we believe is the field that way in the distance down there, that green field, demarked as an Indian field. When we asked local archaeologists what that might mean, they said just a field that the Native Americans would have been using to grow crops and stuff. So we do know they were obviously here, right here. We found several chips in this area. Not a ton, but enough to know that they were definitely here flint knapping, making tools on this bluff. All right, I'm giving up on this hole for right now because it's making me mad. The hits keep moving, which probably means there's multiples. Pointer's not picking up anything, although I've gone like at least 6 inches down. I did find that beautiful piece of chert, but that's it. Literally, the pointer is not telling me anything is close by. Everything's still saying it's 6, 8, 10 inches deep, and it's literally filled in with rocks. Like every crevice is filled in with rocks as if it's the base of something. Maybe an outhouse, maybe a log cabin for the soldiers, not sure, but it's too much for one person. I'm gonna go find some other targets. All right, I decided to dig this target that's like right sort of the dead center of the back wall of this structure, thinking maybe that's where a door would be. You know, a lot of colonial houses were symmetrical, and I only got down 2 inches here just trying to take the plug off the top and immediately hit some bricks. So I'm gonna have to be really careful and try to go around those as much as possible. We'll see. All right. Looks to be possibly a screw. There's actually, I don't know if you guys can see it, like sort of blunt ended, and I think I see threads in here. So they did use screws back in the 1700s on, especially in gun manufacturing, like on the butt ends and stuff. But this could also be modern. It's or somewhat modern 1800s, since it is only a couple inches down. We'll save it. All right, well, I was just getting a lot of like nails by the tree, but I decided to move over a little bit. And this has never happened before, where I've tried to step on the shovel and it actually went all the way in, which means I think an animal or something, there's a woodchuck oval over here, has dug this up before, and this is kind of loose soil, so maybe I can actually get to the target. Or I dug right into a woodchuck hole den or animal den of some sort. Let's hope it's not occupied. I pulled the plug out and everything just fell in. All right, I'm not getting anything on the pointer right around the edge of this, and I am not sticking my hand down in there. So we're just gonna cover this one back up. Ew. All right, good morning. So we're back out here at the potential fort site, and I've kind of been researching outhouses. Yes, fascinating outhouses. And turns out normally there would be sort of a stone-lined area where the outhouse would be over top of, and of course they'd throw all sorts of garbage and stuff down in there besides just the natural stuff. And so theoretically, if we can find the outhouse, we can find bits of pottery, glass, that type of thing, and maybe better determine whether or not this was an area just for a farmhouse, the small outhouse, or if there was potentially 30 men stationed here, like the reports say. So I'm trying to did a little raking this morning. Of course, it's probably the worst time of the year to rake because the leaves have just come down. But and there does seem to be some sort of stone thing down here. I don't know if it's just natural. It's hard to tell. I'm gonna flip the camera around and give you a look. So I know this doesn't look like much on camera, but right about here in the middle is where we found the 2 hinges, and then over here to the left we were getting a bunch of hits, but they were very much sandwiched down between very tightly packed rocks, and there's a lot of vertical ones, and I don't know, physics wise I don't understand how rocks end up vertically on edge like that. I can see them kind of tumbling down a hill and ending up vertically on edge, but this is a flat piece of property. There's not really any reason why so many of these should be in the ground vertically. Yes, I know, I've thought of it. You don't have to say it. Tombstones, right? Old tombstones. Let's hope not. There are mounds. You can see there's a mound right there. I haven't touched any of the mounds yet, just in case they are burial in nature. We've only done some light metal detecting around them. You can see the flags, but there's no mound here, so I'm thinking I'm gonna take the soil down a little bit, maybe pick up some of the targets that we've been getting and see what we got. As I'm just taking a little bit of the soil off, I light back up and there's another one. You see like how this is a straight down view here. You can see how skinny that little rock is, and there's no reason in the world for that to be standing vertically like that on a flat surface. So, all right, my metal detector without Marie's is kind of sucky over there. You can see the hole behind me. I've kind of cleared out a section of it, but the hits keep moving, the targets keep moving, meaning that they're probably deep. So I'm gonna wait till I have the better metal detector here with me to kind of play around with that. In the meantime, I went back out towards the foundation here a bit. You can see I'm only, I don't know, 12, 15 feet away. I've got a nice strong target here. And you can see down on the bottom of the hole, we've got a little, some sort of rusty object there. It looks bigger than a nail. I'm gonna carefully excavate around that and pull that out. You know those metal detecting shows where they always know exactly what the hell they're digging and what they're gonna pull out of the ground? This is not that show. I don't know what this is. We have some sort of whole thing going on down here. Widen the hole, down the edge of it. No idea what this is. It's too chunky to be a horseshoe. Just trying to get it out of the ground without further damaging it here. Oh! Well, it's a hook. All right, we popped it out of the ground. Maybe it's a hook. Maybe I broke it. I don't know. It kind of looks like a hook. I mean, it's definitely a hook. I just don't know if it's like a hook or a broken hook-like object, but it does seem to have a point on the end, so I'm thinking it's actually a hook. All right, that was, it was in the ground like that or something. I don't know. I'll have to review the footage, but let's just check the depth here. It was down there. About 7 inches down from the surface. Arg. Maybe it's a pirate fort. All right, I've got my little rock here, but right behind it, I thought it was another rock. Seems to be a larger metal object, I think, according to the pointer anyway. So I'm gonna try to find the edges of it and pull that out of there and see what that is. Maybe more of the cauldron or something. I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Well, let's put my gloves on. It could be sharp. Okay. Holy. I think it is another piece of that cauldron. We've found pieces of curved, it's definitely curved. Found metal pieces this thick curved before that seem to be part of like a very large round cauldron, about 36 inches in diameter, I think we figured out, and we've been finding pieces of it to the right of the fort, but that's a pretty big piece. All right. Oh, there is something else right over here. Oh, yeah, it's another fragment. All right, well, getting a huge hit right about to the left of this little rock back in here. Again, probably more pieces of that cauldron, but it's starting to rain. The storm is moving in, so I'm gonna head out